messing around with some technical difficulties right now with this technology. Man, that's embarrassing. I didn't even have the mic on. I am so sorry that it has taken so long for me to get on here, but of course, I've got to hop in here just like everybody else and talk about this extension that we just gave Derek Carr. Well, not we, but this Raiders organization. And bravo, I kind of knew it was already going to happen when we signed Davante Adams. But hey, this here should solidify him as a Raider for the remainder of his career with a 3-year deal worth $121.5 million with $29.5 million guaranteed. Now, none of us really have all the contract details, but we do know for certain that Derek Carr is going to be a Raider for at least the next year or two, or even possibly the full contract of 3. Now, I don't really have much to say about it. Nothing that really he couldn't say himself, which he did say himself, as a matter of fact. He had a press conference earlier talking about his extension. And that, look, instead of me sitting here telling you about it, why don't we hop on over here? Now, see, that's the great thing about not being monetized and not accepting any money, is I can pretty much show whatever I want, and I don't care if I get copyright striked. So how about we go over to the press conference itself, and you guys can hear it through his own mouth. So I want to thank everybody for stopping by if you have already. As you can tell, I do have the chat right here, but I don't think there's anybody in here right now utilizing it. But, would be cool if I had some people in here to check it out, see if I've at least got that going, because that's what I've been having issues with. But enough about that. Let's get into Derek Carr and his press conference here. I'm going to mute myself here. Sorry about that, everybody. I had everything muted, but here it is.
Guys like Chandler, guys like Devontae, guys like hopefully Hunter and Foster, and those guys can stay and saying, wow, like we want you to be here for some more years or some more time. That means more to me, way more to me than any of the other stuff that it has to do with. I've only wanted to be a Raider, and I told my agent, I said, I'm either going to be a Raider or I'm going to be playing golf. Like, I don't want to play anywhere else. That's how much this place means to me, and I know I don't get really fired up talking about it or anything like that, but I hope people can hear my heart on that I was dead serious when I meant that. And so, I had 1 year left on my contract. If it was 1 year, it was going to be 1 year, thankfully it'll be 4 more, and, I can, hopefully we can, build on that, and I can finish and just, do what I set out to do, 9 years ago, and that is to win a championship. But that doesn't happen unless, you put a lot of work in, and we have a long way to go before that can happen.
How different, similar did the negotiations go that you thought it would go? Because everyone's like 2 or 3 weeks ago, why isn't it done? Why isn't it done? Like, how did it go? Because you're seeing that from the outside, but you knew what was happening internally.
Yeah, I thought the whole time it was always trending the right direction. For me, everyone looks at like certain numbers and they're going to say, oh, well, they're not going to get the whole picture of how it's structured and how we did things, so that Tim, my agent, myself, and the team, we made sure, guys like Chandler, guys like Devontae, guys like hopefully Hunter and Foster, and those guys can stay here, the way we structured it. I went through a heartbreak already last time I signed my contract. My best friend left, you know what I mean? And I didn't want that to ever happen again. And so this was an opportunity for me to prove to the team, to the organization, to our fans, that the way we're going to structure this is so that we can keep, everybody together and really have real continuity, really have something to build on, And so for me, it was like, how do we do that? Usually in these negotiations, how much money can we get, and then how much can we save? And for this was just different, And so there was a learning curve about it. Like, how do we make that happen to where I feel good and to where the team feels great? Like, man, we can still build a championship team around you. And so that was what was important to us. And hopefully, this contract proves that.
You just said a minute ago, you had 1 year left, and if that was what you were playing on, that's what you were playing on. You were willing to play on the 1 year deal? Because a lot of people from the outside would have said that's crazy for you to put that kind of risk out there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I talked to my agent, like, I said, look, at the end of the day, I want to be a Raider, and I am crazy enough to go out there on 1 year, and especially with the guys that are going to be around me, I said I'll take that chance, and see what happens. But I think.
So honestly, I mean, like, really what we heard there, in all actuality, what we've heard there is everything that we've been hearing. Now, I'm sorry for all the audio mess ups. There's a lot of buttons and things to click over here, especially when you're trying to do what I'm trying to do now, which is Man, it'd be a lot better if I had another screen over here. I'm trying to do this on one screen, and yeah, this is almost impossible. But at least I am getting it to work. Hey, it's my first live. What can I say? So, but let's get back to what we were talking about at hand, man, which is Derek Carr. And Derek Carr, I mean, with everything he said right there, the one key thing that I did hear him say, that we've heard him say, is that he wants to retire a Raider. The dude would rather go play golf than go play with another team. Now, to find that dedication in a player nowadays is almost non-existent. It literally is almost non-existent. And looking at this deal here for a 3-year extension, $121.5 million, only $29.5 mil guaranteed. This has got to be a team-friendly deal. Now, I'm sure that the incentives will come out later, and there will be a lot more to report about on this later. But we know for a fact we've got our nucleus. And our nucleus, could it be a dynasty? I think it very well can be, because if you look at all the threats now that we have on the offensive side of the ball, and also the major additions that we added on the defensive side of the ball, with Chandler Jones and Max Crosby as our key pass rushers, you know, and then we got Belial Nichols in the middle. We went and got Harmon to solidify the secondary. You know what I'm saying? There's still a couple players out there on the table that we could possibly get, but I don't see us doing anything with that right now. And I do believe that, you know, we hit a home run. This front office has hit a home run. I can't remember the last time that I can say that I am utterly pleased with the front office. Right off the bat, because the front office right now, this is like night and day from anything I've ever seen from this team before. I'm extremely stoked about what we're going to do this next season. I don't even really much care about what happens during the draft. We've got we don't have a first and a second round pick, but, hey, I'm sure that this regime is going to get it right. I don't have to worry about not trusting in this regime. Not after seeing what we have all seen. This is a great organization right now, at least from what we can see on paper. Now, we'll see what happens and what matriculates once we hit the field. But in all actuality, this looks great. It really does. It looks like that this is exactly what we've needed as a fan base, and we have now got our quarterback signed for 3 years. We went off and got his wide receiver. All the Carr haters can shut up now. They literally can shut up now. I know they won't. They're probably not going to. Of course they're not going to. Because they're just going to whine and cry like they always do. You know what I mean? Twitter is doing exactly that. I don't even try to go on Twitter anymore. Now, I did get a lot of the information off of Twitter, and then also Spotlight Raiders Talk jumped out very early while I was still working with the news. That was the first person I heard it from. And kudos to him on that, man. Way to report that as quick as you did. I'm absolutely stoked with what's going on here. I really am. I may even have to retire this channel if we start winning Super Bowls, because then there's going to be nothing to critique. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'll just have to change the show up a little bit, maybe change the name. But if we can produce like this in the front office, if we can produce like this on the field, man, we're going to hit it out the park. We're going to hit it out the park. And Derek Carr is definitely going to be our quarterback for the next 3 years. So if you're going to whine and gripe and bitch about it, I mean, I would hate to be you. I really would. Because with all that negativity in your life, you must bitch about everything. You're probably not even very pleasant to be around. So, I kind of know what the hell that's like. I've been known to be abrasive, but sometimes you have to swallow your pride and also understand that you are not the only one on the damn planet. You are not the only one in the Raider Nation. And your opinion is not the only one that matters. You really do need to take a look at the glass that is half full instead of a glass that is half empty. We could have a really trash quarterback in Jared Goff. We could have a really trash quarterback, a starting quarterback in Mitchell Trubisky. You got to look at the glass half full, because now you look at everything that has been built around this man, and they gave him an extension. The sky is the limit. Go look at the man's numbers. All right? And most importantly, the guy wants to be here. And he wants to win a championship with our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Try to embrace him. If you hate him that much, I don't understand why. Because the guy is an excellent human being and an excellent individual. And us as Raider Nation should always want our players to succeed. So if you're not looking to watch our quarterback succeed and you got a bunch of hate on your plate, man, you haters need to go to other teams and get the hell away from here, because you obviously don't know your history about how bad these quarterbacks have been. You really don't. But if you really need all that damn history, I got plenty of content on this channel. Tells you all about the quarterbacks we had in the past before we got the starter Derek Carr. And we've all sat there and ragged on him before. There are times where he has made mistakes, where he has fumbled the ball in inopportune situations. But that doesn't mean that he's not our quarterback and he doesn't still get our support. Taking a deal like this and him being a top 10 quarterback, an easy top 10 quarterback, taking a deal like this, we should feel blessed to have this man. And I'm not brown-nosing anybody. I'm just saying. We should be blessed to have him, because we could have Mitchell Trubisky, Jared Goff. Heck, I know Ryan Tannehill. You don't know what you're getting with those guys because they're so up and down. Derek Carr shows that he can be consistent, and he shows that he can put up the numbers. Hence is why he's the number one franchise Raider of all time when it comes to passing yards and all the records he's done broke in his 8-year tenure, about to be his 9th. So, really think about it. It could be a whole lot worse than what it is. And to be honest, I'm going to sit back and enjoy the ride this season. I'm going to enjoy reporting on this winning season we're going to have. I hope we make it to a Super Bowl. I hope we make it. I hope we win it. I think we can win it this year if I'm looking on paper, and I think we can win it next year too. But it all depends on how well this team gels together. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, everybody. This has been a live episode of the Raider Critique under the new format, where I do try to highlight all of your comments in the chat, but there's no chat in here right now. So, I got this guy here. I can go ahead and post this up, because at least he came in here and said something about the audio that I was having massive problems with, and I will more than likely edit that out and repost the video just to get it to where that lines up correctly. Sorry that it was such an issue trying to get the technology to work for me the way I wanted it to. I'm still new when it comes to using OBS in this format. So, I will get better with time, and the channel's content will get better along with that. So anyway, thank you all for stopping by another episode of the Raider Critique. I hope you all have a blessed day. Love your families, man. Hold on to them tight. Prayers go out to Dwayne Haskins, who lost his life earlier this week. He got hit by a dump truck. I did not mention anything about that, of course, because, it's not Raider content, but, it just goes to show that man was only 24 years old. And my heart goes out to his family. And it was a man that was just taken from us way too soon. And, I'll give him the Raiders salute, definitely. Dwayne Haskins, who's not with us any longer. At least, we have enough class as a fan base to not sit there and rag on what his career was like, but just to know that the individual that he was and how he had his whole life ahead of him, the only thing we can do is just really pray for his family and, and just keep them in our prayers pretty much, because they need it in a time like this. That is for sure. So anyway, Raider Nation, I'm going to go ahead and hop on out of here. It's been fun doing this for y'all. And hopefully I will be able to get this figured out again and not have so many hiccups when it comes to the audio. So I'm going to get in here and eat dinner. It is good times now that we've got our quarterback, our franchise quarterback, on lock for a 3-year extension for all that amount of money. You know what I mean? That is a good amount of money if you ask me. I don't know what I would do with that type of money right there. That is for sure. I don't know what I could do with a 121.5 million. So, but 29 of that's guaranteed. I'm pretty sure the rest of that's going to be incentives. So expect a lot of winning ways coming our way, Raider Nation. And finally, I think that we finally have a team that we can literally be extremely happy about and also optimistic about winning a championship. So until then, Raider Nation, until the next live video that I do here, it's Raider Nation for life.